Learn from yesterday. Live for today. Hope for tomorrow. The important thing is not to stop questioning. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough.
Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving.
We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. Only two things are infinite, the universe and human stupidity, and I'm not sure about the former. Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value.
Weakness of attitude becomes weakness of character.
A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new.
Coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. I have no special talent.
I am only passionately curious.
It's not that I'm so smart. It's just that I stay with problems longer. You can't blame gravity for falling in love.
Logic will get you from A to B.
Imagination will take you everywhere. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it.
We can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them.
Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one.
Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. The only source of knowledge is experience. It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge.
Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. I never think of the future, it comes soon enough.
Anyone who doesn't take truth seriously in small matters cannot be trusted in large ones either. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones.
The world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it.
Nationalism is an infantile disease. It is the measles of mankind. The only reason for time is so that everything doesn't happen at once.
If we knew what it was we were doing, it would not be called research, would it?
Intellectuals solve problems, geniuses prevent them. Common sense is the collection of prejudices acquired by age 18. I live in that solitude which is painful in youth, but delicious in the years of maturity.
I think and think for months and years, 99 times. The conclusion is false.
The 100th time I'm right.
The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge but imagination. Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters. Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds.
Any man who can drive safely while kissing a pretty girl is simply not giving the kiss the attention it deserves.
Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school.
Pure mathematics is, in its way, the poetry of logical ideas.
Once we accept our limits, we go beyond them. Everyone should be respected as an individual, but no one idolized. The important thing is not to stop questioning.
Curiosity has its own reason for existing.
Everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. If people are good only because they fear punishment and hope for reward, then we are a sorry lot indeed.
The value of a man should be seen in what he gives, and not in what he is able to receive.
There are two ways to live. You can live as if nothing is a miracle. You can live as if everything is a miracle.
Intellectual growth should commence at birth and cease only at death.
Gravitation is not responsible for people falling in love. A table, a chair, a bowl of fruit, and a violin. What else does a man need to be happy? No amount of experimentation can ever prove me right. A single experiment can prove me wrong. Any man who reads too much and uses his own brain too little falls into lazy habits of thinking. Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value. The monotony and solitude of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind.
A question that sometimes drives me hazy.
Am I or are the others crazy?
All that is valuable in human society depends upon the opportunity for development accorded to the individual.
If you are out to describe the truth, leave elegance to the tailor.
He who can no longer pause to wonder and stand wrapped in awe is as good as dead. His eyes are closed.
The hardest thing to understand in the world is the income tax. It is strange to be known so universally, and yet to be so lonely. The gift of fantasy has meant more to me than my talent for absorbing positive knowledge. In matters of truth and justice, there is no difference between large and small problems, for issues concerning the treatment of people are all the same.
Before God, we are all equally wise and equally foolish.
Technological progress is like an axe in the hands of a pathological criminal. Most people say that it is the intellect which makes a great scientist. They are wrong. It is character. Our task must be to free ourselves by widening our circle of compassion, to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature and its beauty. Science without religion is lame. Religion without science is blind. Put your hand on a hot stove for a minute and it seems like an hour.
Sit with a pretty girl for an hour, and it seems like a minute.
The distinction between the past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion.
When you are courting a nice girl, an hour seems like a second.
When you sit on a red-hot cinder, a second seems like an hour. That's relativity. Without deep reflection, one knows from daily life that one exists for other people. I do not believe in immortality of the individual, and I consider ethics to be an exclusively human concern with no superhuman authority behind it. The only real valuable thing is intuition.
I want to go and I want.
It is tasteless to prolong life artificially. I have done my share. It is time to go. I will do it elegantly. When the solution is simple, God is answering. The whole of science is nothing more than a refinement of everyday thinking. It is only to the individual that a soul is given. Few are those who see with their own eyes and feel with their own hearts. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.